You know what? I got it.
Here.
The Papoose is upstairs.
Shut up.
Yeah, he upstairs. So I'm gonna make it play real quick. I'm gonna take it to him upstairs. I make it play.
Was that rice good?
It was. I feel like Papoose he don't eat a whole lot, but I'm gonna put on some more rice on him because I thought he hadn't eaten none today. I think he had some cereal. But
Claressa Shields walked into the room with her usual confidence, the energy surrounding her electric. Papoose was sitting across from her, scrolling through his phone, unaware of the storm about to hit. Claressa Shields didn't hesitate. She took a deep...
Can't nobody tell me I'm from the street and make me feel some type of way? Are you crazy? Can't nobody tell me, oh, you fumbled it. It's so funny watching people like, you had a good husband. He's only had one wife. The only person that can tell y'all if he's a good husband or not. And when he was, I told y'all that. I told y'all. When she was cool, when she was all right, when it was what I thought it was, I kept...
Deep breath and, in front of everyone present, dropped the question that would set the internet on fire. Papoose looked up, startled, his expression a mix of surprise and disbelief. Claressa Shields held his gaze, unwavering. Her proposal...
Unlace him and pull the tongue out. Y'all don't listen.
I did that for her, Pat.
You don't want to fall.
I did that for her.
It's right though.
I did it.
You're not supposed to tie him, bro.
And she did.
I got you.
I ain't been doing nothing lately. You good, and it's new.
Who be driving you crazy?
That's how you wear them. You don't lace their Timbs up. They.
Proposal perfectly timed and unshakably sincere. Papoose's friends around them froze, caught between curiosity and disbelief. Claressa Shields' words echoed through the room, each syllable dripping with intention, making it impossible for anyone to ignore. Papoose's eyes widened as he processed the moment, and Claressa Shields, with a subtle smile, leaned slightly closer, ensuring her voice carried just enough to leave an imprint. Remy Ma, sitting a few steps away, immediately picked up on the tension. Her phone was in hand, and as soon as she realized what was unfolding, she started recording. Remy Ma's reaction was visceral, a mixture of shock and amusement, her eyebrows arching as she whispered to herself. Claressa Shields didn't notice, fully engrossed in Papoose's response. While Remy Ma's fingers moved quickly over her screen, preparing to capture every second. Claressa Shields' presence dominated the space, her charisma undeniable. And Papoose was now visibly torn between excitement and anxiety. Remy Ma's recording caught every nuance. From Papoose's hesitant smiles to the way Claressa Shields' eyes sparkled with determination. Claressa Shields continued, explaining why she had made this bold move, detailing moments from their past that led her to this point. Papoose listened intently, occasionally nodding, his hands fidgeting slightly on his lap. Claressa Shields' tone was passionate yet controlled, commanding the room's attention effortlessly. Remy Ma, on the other hand, couldn't contain herself. Her lips moved in disbelief as she muttered under her breath, occasionally letting out small gasps. Claressa Shields, noticing the reaction from across the room, gave a subtle, knowing smirk, recognizing that this moment would not stay private for long. Papoose, trying to gather his thoughts, glanced at Claressa Shields, then at Remy Ma, realizing just how public this proposal had already become. Claressa Shields' approach was methodical, each gesture calculated to leave an impression. Papoose finally spoke, his voice low but clear, revealing a mixture of surprise and gratitude. Claressa Shields listened carefully, nodding, understanding the hesitation while still maintaining her assertive stance. Remy Ma's recording caught every pause, every inflection, her reactions now shifting between laughter and disbelief as the tension escalated. Claressa Shields' presence seemed to amplify every feeling in the room, making Papoose's hesitation more pronounced, yet simultaneously making the moment unforgettable. Remy Ma's followers would later see this exact mix of emotions go viral, her facial expressions capturing the perfect blend of shock and excitement. Papoose finally found his voice, asking Claressa Shields a question in return. A tentative step toward understanding the full weight of her proposal. Claressa Shields leaned in, listening intently, her eyes never leaving his. Remy Ma's camera didn't miss a single second, her fingers adjusting the angle to make sure every subtle movement was captured. Claressa Shields, sensing the hesitation, softened her tone, assuring Papoose that her intentions were genuine. Papoose's eyes softened in response, the tension easing slightly, yet the energy remained electric. Remy Ma's reaction was a mixture of relief and playful teasing. Her comments under her breath audible only to herself but clearly visible in the video. She was recording. Claressa Shields continued to elaborate, recounting past moments with Papoose that had led her to this decisive step. Papoose listened, occasionally chuckling, occasionally blinking in disbelief, processing the reality of the proposal. Remy Ma's reactions shifted seamlessly, capturing each nuance, her expressions a mixture of admiration and incredulity. Claressa Shields' voice carried authority and emotion simultaneously, ensuring that Papoose understood the depth of her commitment. Papoose, still slightly hesitant, nodded and smiled, realizing that Claressa Shields' proposal was not just bold, but deeply heartfelt. Remy Ma's viral clip would later show her shaking her head in awe, her laughter breaking the tension and providing a window into her genuine surprise. Claressa Shields reached out, gently taking Papoose's hand, a gesture that spoke volumes beyond the words she had just spoken. Papoose's fingers trembled slightly as he held hers, and Claressa Shields squeezed reassuringly, grounding the moment. Remy Ma in the background couldn't help but let out a soft laugh, shaking her head at the audacity, yet sincerity of Claressa Shields' actions. Claressa Shields' presence commanded attention, her confidence unwavering, while Papoose's expression slowly shifted from shock to warmth. Remy Ma's camera captured every transition, each subtle shift in emotion destined to explode across social media. Claressa Shields explained why she had chosen this moment, highlighting the significance of their relationship and her commitment to Papoose. Papoose listened, his expression softening, his earlier hesitation giving way to genuine appreciation. Remy Ma, ever observant, leaned slightly forward, her eyes wide, absorbing every detail while keeping her recording steady. Claressa Shields' words were deliberate, each sentence carefully crafted to resonate. And Papoose responded in kind, asking clarifying questions and expressing his thoughts with measured care. Remy Ma's reactions mirrored the viewer's eventual feelings, disbelief mixed with excitement, capturing the perfect viral moment. Claressa Shields' sincerity was unmistakable, her gestures and words working in tandem to convey the depth of her feelings. Papoose moved, struggled to find the right words, his expressions oscillating between amazement and humility. Remy Ma, unable to contain herself, chuckled and shook her head, her recording a living testament to the moment's intensity. Claressa Shields, noticing Papoose's struggle, reached out again, her touch gentle yet grounding, reinforcing her message of commitment. Papoose finally smiled, nodding in acknowledgement, and Claressa Shields' eyes lit up, recognizing that her bold move was resonating exactly as she intended. Claressa Shields noticed the subtle tension in Papoose's shoulders and decided to ease it with a gentle smile. Papoose, still processing the enormity of what had just happened, leaned back slightly, his mind racing through the implications. Claressa Shields spoke softly, reminding him of the memories they had built together, the laughter, the struggles, and the moments that had defined their bond. Papoose's eyes softened as he remembered the shared experiences, each word from Claressa Shields bringing warmth and clarity. Remy Ma's camera continued rolling, capturing every nuanced reaction, her expressions oscillating between astonishment and amusement, as she whispered comments that would later become viral sound bites. Claressa Shields emphasized that her proposal wasn't a fleeting idea but the culmination of countless reflections and heartfelt considerations. Papoose nodded, his fingers intertwining with hers, seeking reassurance while simultaneously offering a silent acknowledgement of her courage. Remy Ma, visibly intrigued, tilted her phone slightly to ensure that Claressa Shields' unwavering gaze and Papoose's hesitant smiles were fully visible in her recording. Claressa Shields explained that every moment with Papoose had strengthened her resolve, that proposing now was not only a personal decision, but also a declaration of intent that couldn't be ignored. Papoose, listening intently, swallowed hard, caught between excitement and disbelief, while Remy Ma's camera captured the subtle tremor in his hand as it held hers. Claressa Shields leaned in slightly, lowering her voice in a way that made Papoose hang on every word. She recounted specific memories, inside jokes, and shared struggles that had shaped their connection, each one reinforcing her unwavering commitment. Papoose, momentarily lost in her words, finally managed a soft laugh, breaking some of the tension, while Claressa Shields' smile widened, knowing she had reached him emotionally. Remy Ma, recording from a distance, caught every second, her own reactions alternating between disbelief and admiration. Claressa Shields' approach was methodical, each phrase designed to convey sincerity and depth, and Papoose found himself drawn in, the weight of the moment pressing heavily but pleasantly on him. Claressa Shields reminded Papoose of his own strengths, praising his resilience and the ways he had supported her over time. Papoose, unaccustomed to such direct affirmation, nodded appreciatively, feeling a mix of gratitude and humility. Remy Ma, still recording, whispered a quiet wow under her breath, her eyes wide as she watched the dynamic unfold, knowing this footage would make waves online. Claressa Shields' tone shifted slightly, blending vulnerability, with confidence, demonstrating that her proposal was not merely symbolic, but deeply intentional. Papoose's eyes met hers, searching for the reassurance she radiated, and Claressa Shields responded with a gentle squeeze of his hand, grounding him in the moment. Claressa Shields then discussed her vision for the future, speaking candidly about what she hoped to build with Papoose. Papoose listened carefully, nodding occasionally, his mind racing with possibilities and the excitement of the unknown. Remy Ma's phone continued recording, every subtle gesture and expression captured in high definition, ensuring the authenticity of the moment was preserved. Claressa Shields' voice carried a mix of firmness and tenderness, emphasizing that her commitment was unwavering and that she wanted Papoose to understand the gravity of her decision. Papoose, caught between disbelief and genuine appreciation, finally allowed a small, genuine smile to emerge, reflecting the impact of Claressa Shields' words. Remy Ma, unable to contain her emotions, leaned slightly forward, her reactions intensifying as she whispered exclamations and shook her head at the audacity of Claressa Shields' proposal. Claressa Shields, noticing the recording, didn't falter, confidence only growing as she realized the moment was not just personal but destined for public attention. Papoose, now fully present, responded with curiosity and cautious excitement, asking questions about Claressa Shields' intentions and the thought process behind the proposal. Claressa Shields answered with clarity, detailing her feelings and the reasons she believed this step was right for them. Remy Ma's phone captured each exchange, every glance, every subtle nod, cementing the moment as a clip destined to explode across social media. Claressa Shields reassured Papoose that her proposal was not a stunt but a genuine expression of love and commitment. Papoose, feeling the weight of her sincerity, relaxed slightly, the tension in his shoulders easing as he processed her words. Remy Ma's recording highlighted the rawness of the exchange, her own reactions a mirror to what viewers would later feel: astonishment, excitement, and admiration. Claressa Shields' determination was palpable, her energy filling the room as she continued to express her intentions, making it impossible for Papoose to ignore the seriousness behind her bold move. Papoose, now visibly moved, responded with warmth, his voice low but steady, acknowledging Claressa Shields' courage and the depth of her emotions. Claressa Shields smiled, sensing that Papoose was beginning to understand the depth of her proposal. She spoke about shared dreams, the life they could build together, and the ways they had supported each other through ups and downs. Papoose nodded, his expression softening, feeling a mixture of gratitude, disbelief, and excitement. Remy Ma, recording every detail, caught each nuanced expression, knowing that her footage would soon become a talking point across social media platforms. Claressa Shields' words were deliberate, her gestures intentional, and Papoose found himself swept up in the emotion of the moment, realizing the significance of the proposal beyond its immediate surprise. Claressa Shields continued, recounting how Papoose had influenced her life positively, how his support had strengthened her, and how every shared moment had led her to this decision. Papoose listened intently, occasionally chuckling nervously, his mind processing the boldness and sincerity of Claressa Shields' proposal. Remy Ma's recording intensified, her facial expressions capturing the perfect blend of shock, admiration, and disbelief. Claressa Shields' energy was contagious, her confidence radiating as she emphasized that this proposal was not only about love, but also about mutual respect and partnership. Papoose, feeling both overwhelmed and exhilarated, smiled broadly, his hesitation giving way to genuine curiosity about their future together. Claressa Shields noticed Papoose's hesitation, a fleeting shadow crossing his face, and she leaned in closer, her hand still resting gently over his. Papoose's eyes darted nervously, unsure of how to respond, while Claressa Shields' voice remained calm but firm, explaining that her intentions were not fleeting but built on years of understanding and trust. Remy Ma, still recording, couldn't hide her widening eyes, her mouth opening slightly in disbelief as she whispered under her breath, capturing every subtle exchange that was unfolding. Claressa Shields spoke about the significance of timing, how every step in their relationship had led to this moment, and how she wanted Papoose to feel the full weight of her commitment. Papoose, caught between shock and appreciation, finally managed a nod, realizing that Claressa Shields had meticulously prepared this moment to resonate deeply. Claressa, Achilles, highlighted their shared victories and challenges, reminding Papoose of the obstacles they had overcome together. Each memory she mentioned caused Papoose to smile faintly, his nerves mixing with admiration and a growing sense of excitement. Remy Ma adjusted her phone slightly, ensuring that the sincerity in Claressa Shields' eyes and the subtle hesitation in Papoose's expression were captured perfectly. Claressa Shields continued, emphasizing that her proposal wasn't about spectacle or attention, but about honoring the depth of their connection. Papoose, still processing, reached out with his free hand, touching Claressa Shields' shoulder lightly, a silent acknowledgement of her courage and honesty. Remy Ma's face lit up with surprise, shaking her head slightly as she whispered exclamations that would later circulate widely online. Claressa Shields spoke of the future she envisioned with Papoose, detailing hopes, dreams, and shared plans that extended beyond the immediate moment. Papoose listened attentively, occasionally chuckling nervously as he processed the sincerity behind every word. Remy Ma's camera captured every inflection, every subtle movement, from Claressa Shields' firm, yet gentle gestures to Papoose's growing realization of the seriousness and depth of her proposal. Claressa Shields reassured Papoose that the proposal was not only about commitment, but also about celebrating the journey they had shared. Papoose's shoulders relaxed slightly as he allowed himself to imagine the possibilities, and Claressa Shields smiled knowingly, recognizing that her message was landing exactly as intended. Remy Ma's reactions grew more animated as she continued recording, her disbelief mixing with fascination. Claressa Shields noticed the movement out of the corner of her eye but remained unwavering, fully focused on Papoose. Papoose, now visibly moved, asked questions, wanting clarity on what Claressa Shields had envisioned for their future together. Claressa Shields answered with patience and sincerity, detailing how their bond had grown stronger through every trial and triumph, emphasizing that her proposal was the culmination of thought, reflection, and care. Remy Ma, capturing each exchange, occasionally chuckled or shook her head, her expressions perfectly reflecting the viral energy that would later spread across social media. Claressa Shields' tone became softer yet more intense, conveying vulnerability while maintaining strength. Papoose responded, his voice low and filled with a mix of astonishment and gratitude, acknowledging the bravery it took for Claressa Shields to make such a bold move. Remy Ma's camera caught the subtle tremor in Papoose's hand, the slight widening of his eyes, and the slow, deliberate movements of Claressa Shields' fingers resting on his palm. Claressa Shields spoke about mutual support and the importance of trust, her words designed to reassure and comfort Papoose while simultaneously highlighting her dedication. Papoose nodded, processing the depth of her commitment, his initial surprise gradually evolving into genuine warmth. Claressa Shields leaned closer, maintaining eye contact, emphasizing that her proposal was not just a symbolic gesture but a deeply personal declaration of love and respect. Papoose's reaction shifted, a mixture of disbelief, joy, and curiosity playing across his features. Remy Ma, recording with precision, captured every subtle micro-expression, ensuring that the intensity of the moment would be felt by every viewer. Claressa Shields elaborated on why she had chosen this moment, explaining that the timing reflected not only her readiness but also the importance of honesty and openness in their relationship. Papoose, visibly moved, allowed himself a small, genuine smile, realizing the authenticity behind Claressa Shields' actions. Claressa Shields continued, recounting their journey together, the moments that had defined their connection, and the trust that had grown between them over time. Papoose listened intently, nodding occasionally, his fingers tightening around hers as he processed the magnitude of the proposal. Remy Ma, still filming, whispered under her breath, her astonishment clear as she captured every second. Claressa Shields emphasized that the proposal was about partnership, mutual respect, and acknowledging the profound bond they shared. Papoose, finally beginning to relax, allowed a sense of excitement to emerge, the tension of disbelief slowly giving way to anticipation. Claressa Shields' words carried conviction, her gestures reinforcing her sincerity as Papoose absorbed the depth of her emotions. Remy Ma's camera captured every nuance, the slight tremor in Papoose's hand, the intensity in Claressa Shields' eyes, and the charged energy of the room. Claressa Shields reassured him, reminding Papoose that her decision was rooted in love, reflection, and shared experiences, and that this proposal was her way of honoring everything they had built together. Papoose nodded, his hesitation softening as the warmth of her words sank in. Remy Ma's excitement grew, her reactions a mix of amazement and delight, perfectly complementing the unfolding drama. Claressa Shields then detailed the ways she envisioned their future, highlighting shared dreams, commitments, and the partnership they could cultivate together. Papoose listened, captivated, occasionally murmuring agreements, the initial shock now transforming into engagement with Claressa Shields' vision. Remy Ma's recording captured every expression, ensuring that Claressa Shields' confidence, Papoose's emotional shifts, and the tension between vulnerability and strength were all preserved. Claressa Shields' touch reassured Papoose, grounding him while she articulated her hopes and intentions. Papoose's reactions softened further, a quiet awe evident in his eyes as he began to appreciate the boldness and thoughtfulness of Claressa Shields' proposal. Claressa Shields saw the shift in Papoose's demeanor, the subtle easing of tension around his eyes and shoulders, and she knew her words were sinking in. Papoose's lips curved slightly into a tentative smile, his fingers lingering on hers as the gravity of the proposal became undeniable. Remy Ma, still recording, couldn't contain her reactions any longer. Her eyes widened, her jaw dropped slightly, and her whispers of astonishment grew louder, perfectly capturing the moment's intensity. Claressa Shields maintained her unwavering gaze, her voice calm but commanding, explaining that her proposal was about more than a ring yet, was about acknowledging their shared journey, the trials, victories, and private moments that had shaped their bond. Papoose, feeling the sincerity radiate from Claressa Shields. Nodded slowly, initial shock giving way to appreciation and curiosity. Remy Ma's camera moved subtly to capture every detail of Claressa Shields' expressions, her determined eyes and Papoose's evolving reaction. Claressa Shields recounted moments of vulnerability, instances where Papoose had shown patience, understanding, and unwavering support, reinforcing why she had chosen this decisive step. Papoose's eyebrows lifted as he listened, his nervousness slowly transforming into engagement. Each word from Claressa Shields resonating deeply. Remy Ma, almost holding her breath, whispered to herself, clearly caught in disbelief and admiration. Claressa Shields emphasized the intentionality of her actions, reminding Papoose that a proposal was never a casual gesture, and that the love and respect behind it were profound. Papoose, taking a deep breath, allowed a genuine smile to emerge, his eyes reflecting both awe and the beginning of acceptance. Claressa Shields leaned in slightly, her hand brushing gently against Papoose's as she spoke about trust and commitment, her tone soft but unwavering. Papoose, now fully present, responded with a mix of words and gestures, asking questions about the future she envisioned while showing appreciation for her courage. Remy Ma's recording captured every flicker of emotion, her reactions blending amazement with playful incredulity, the perfect mirror to what viewers would soon experience. Claressa Shields outlined shared dreams, her voice steady and passionate, ensuring Papoose felt the depth of her intentions. Papoose nodded, occasionally chuckling nervously, the weight of the moment shifting into excitement as Claressa Shields' words settled into his consciousness. Remy Ma's expressions escalated as she recorded, her disbelief becoming more animated, her reactions a combination of astonishment, amusement, and admiration. Claressa Shields noticed Remy Ma's intensity but remained focused on Papoose, her voice conveying vulnerability without losing the authority of her message. Papoose, feeling the gravity and sincerity, reached out to touch Claressa Shields' hand again, this time with more confidence, showing a tentative willingness to accept the bold gesture. Claressa Shields smiled softly, sensing the shift, her words turning slightly lighter yet no less profound, emphasizing that their connection had always been special and that this moment was about honoring that uniqueness. Remy Ma's camera captured it all. Every subtle glance, every micro-expression, a viral record of history in the making. Claressa Shields continued, detailing her perspective on love, trust, and partnership, making it clear to Papoose that this proposal was rooted in mutual respect and shared understanding. Papoose's expressions softened further, his hesitation now interlaced with excitement and genuine curiosity. Remy Ma's reaction intensified, her gestures animated, her whispered astonishment now bordering on laughter, highlighting the perfect mix of chaos and authenticity that would later go viral. Claressa Shields' tone remained unwavering, her eyes locking with Papoose's, reinforcing the seriousness of her commitment. Papoose, feeling the strength behind Claressa Shields' words, allowed himself a fuller smile, his nervous energy transforming into something warmer, more receptive. Claressa Shields reached a pivotal point, describing the ways she had imagined their life together, sharing the vision she held for their shared journey, emphasizing partnership and mutual growth. Papoose listened intently, nodding occasionally, his smile widening as he began to grasp the sincerity and magnitude of Claressa Shields' gesture. Remy Ma, capturing each moment, could no longer hide her excitement, her jaw dropping at times and her head shaking in disbelief as she whispered reactions that would soon dominate social media commentary. Claressa Shields' presence filled the room, her energy palpable, and Papoose responded with words and gestures that conveyed both respect and growing enthusiasm. The dynamic between them became electric, charged with anticipation, emotion, and the undeniable gravity of Claressa Shields' proposal. Claressa Shields reassured Papoose that her actions were not about attention or spectacle, but about genuine connection, love, and shared experiences. Papoose, visibly moved, leaned forward slightly, his hands still entwined with hers, and voiced questions that reflected his growing willingness to embrace the moment. Remy Ma, in the background, could hardly contain herself, whispering incredulous exclamations, her recording capturing the perfect combination of astonishment and excitement. Claressa Shields responded with patience, her tone deliberate and sincere, explaining that her proposal was meant to celebrate their journey and cement the bond they had built over time. Papoose, feeling the authenticity in her words, allowed a broad, genuine smile to appear, his earlier hesitation now replaced with engagement and appreciation. Remy Ma's excitement peaked as she continued to record, her reactions now fully animated, her disbelief mixing with admiration and laughter. Claressa Shields, noticing the growing intensity of the moment, remained focused on Papoose, ensuring her words landed with the intended gravity. Papoose, finally feeling fully present, reciprocated with a mix of gestures and expressions that acknowledged Claressa Shields' bravery, thoughtfulness, and love. Claressa Shields smiled warmly, recognizing that her bold move had successfully conveyed the depth of her intentions. Remy Ma's recording captured the culmination of this emotional crescendo. Claressa Shields' confident yet tender presence, Papoose's evolving reactions, and the viral energy of the moment as it unfolded in real time. Claressa Shields gently spoke of their shared history, the ups and downs that had strengthened their bond, and the way their connection had grown over time. Papoose listened intently, his fingers tracing hers, each gesture reflecting his growing understanding and acceptance of Claressa Shields' intentions. Remy Ma's camera captured the mixture of shock, joy, and disbelief in her own expressions, perfectly framing the energy that would soon make headlines. Claressa Shields' words were deliberate, balancing vulnerability with strength, ensuring that Papoose understood the depth and seriousness of her proposal. Papoose's smile widened further, his earlier hesitation replaced by genuine warmth and curiosity about the life they could build together. Claressa Shields concluded by emphasizing that her proposal was about partnership, mutual respect, and shared dreams, making it clear that this moment was a culmination of thought, reflection, and heartfelt intention. Papoose, moved beyond words, finally allowed a laugh to escape, his nervousness replaced by a combination of relief, excitement, and admiration for Claressa Shields' audacity and sincerity. Remy Ma, still recording, whispered in astonishment, shaking her head at the intensity and authenticity of the moment, her expressions perfectly capturing the viral potential. Claressa Shields smiled, a mixture of satisfaction and anticipation, knowing that the moment had landed, that Papoose was processing the depth of her commitment, and that Remy Ma's recording would immortalize their emotions for the world to see.